Yo ladies and lads, welcome to another video. My name is Spag. Hope you guys are all doing well. So this video today is going to be exclusively on Reina. Now Reina has of course been the most popular character that's been on everyone's minds because of course her design is amazing and you know it's clear that she is a Mishima, right? So we know that she's going to be very important to the story, but outside of that she just looks sick as well. I think definitely the best newcomer into the game, and because of that I think a lot of people want to know, is she going to be a strong character? Now there hasn't been any like breakdown of the character just yet, but we have had content come out from various content creators that have shown the entire move list. Now we don't really get to see the full story by looking at the move list, you know, in practice mode, because what you really want to do, what you need to do, is to actually go deep into the practice mode and be able to see kind of how good those moves really are. Now, how good is a move? Well, a move can be good based on its damage, its frames, and its tracking. You know, there's range, and there's so many things that can make a move good, right? We don't really get to see the full story there on the move list videos, but I was able to play the game, and I played a considerable amount of Reina when I was there. Thanks to Red Bull UK, I was there a couple of weeks ago, and I managed to play a lot of Reina, and I noticed that there were some things about her that was really strong, and other things about her that was maybe not as strong, and then other things which I just really don't know until we get our hands on the game. So what I'm hoping to do here is to give you guys a little bit of insight on Reina, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through the move list, and I'm going to kind of briefly explain, you know, about the different moves that she has and what I think makes her strong and what I think makes her a little bit weak as well. Now this video here was made by Jakub D, and I'm going to leave the link in the description if you guys want to have a look at the entire move list. Big shout outs to him, my friend from Poland. But of course, if we go straight into it, and I'm going to be pausing a little bit as well, these are her heat moves, you know, to start it off. The FF3, one of her heat moves, and then of course having her heat smash, which whenever I did this heat smash, the entire venue was like, oh my god, you know, really cool, because you know there was a bunch of press people there. There wasn't many people that really knew how to play the game, so when I was playing Reina on the big screen, people were like, yo, it's sick. You know, she definitely has the best heat stuff. Here's another big heat move. And we got the electric. Now one good thing about Reina is when she's in heat, any crouch dash 2 that you do will be an electric version. Of course, you have, like, you know, the Mishimas have the Wind God Fist and the electric Wind God Fist. The electric Wind God Fist is plus as compared to punishable. It has better range, you know, I think it does more damage as well. So electrics, every time you do an electric input in heat, even if you mess it up, you will get the electric form of the God Fist. So that's one thing which I think is shared around the different Mishimas. And that cool little parry there as well, so sick, man. I love the animation. Down forward 1-2. Now this is down for 1-2. Quite similar to, I would say, a Heihachi. Heihachi Mishima, obviously it had the down for 1-2, but his knocks down. I don't think this one knocks down. That's one thing that makes it not as good, but it is minus 13, and that's one thing that this video doesn't show, is how punishable certain moves are. Her down for 1-2, just like Heihachi, is minus 13, and I believe that it leaves you in crouch as well. So yeah, same kind of punish. And she has down forward 1-1, which you'll see later on as well. But one thing that's interesting, keep your eye on this corner here where my mouse is showing. Down forward 1 into hold forward will put her into the Sentai stance, which is her main stance. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but let's continue on with the video right now. So forward 3, of course, and forward 3 from Sentai, and from her other stance we have the down 3. Her Heaven's Wrath stance, down 1+2. So these are all heat moves right now that we're seeing. That move looks so sick. All mid strings. And that's another one of her stances where she does a little spin, little roll. Okay. I think we've already seen this one. That's her heat smash, so let's go forward. And her rage art, I mean, you guys have seen it already, right? Really cool rage art. I think maybe the best rage art in the game, next to Raven. I think Raven and her have the best rage art so far. Maybe Yoshimitsu as well. But anyway, here's where we get to the moves. This is her on the basic move list. 1-1-2 flash punch combo. This is a Mishima classic. This is a Mishima staple, right? Now 1-1-2 with her does not knock down, but what it does do is it automatically puts her into the Sentai stance. And you see that, right? The little we're going to show it again. the little 1-1-2 into the spin. Now, from this spin, she has a lot of different moves, right? And you can see that it's plus 11 when she goes into stance. But she can also hold back, I believe, to just not go into stance at all. So 1-1-2, it does not knock down, which I think is a big difference between her 1-1-2 and, you know, everybody else's. I think, you know, Kazuya, Devil Jin, Heihachi. Heihachi's even wall splats, you know. So, in Tekken 7. So, yeah, hers is definitely different. But having 1-1 in general and having a 1-1-2 is massive. It makes a character so much stronger to be able to have that strong, confirmable 10-frame punish that does a good amount of damage. And with hers, putting it into that stance, it's kind of like Lydia. And this is how you got to imagine her, right? She's, in a way, kind of like Lydia because she has moves which automatically put her into stance and put your opponent into a mix-up. And we'll talk about the Sentai stance later, but what I'll say right now is that it is not clear that there is a way to get around the mix-up. There is no, you know, dick jab to get over all the options. She has legitimate mix-ups from Sentai. Okay, 1-2. Good to have 1-2 as well, and then 1-2-2 as well does a little bit more damage, and sometimes you don't want you want to get the extra damage and you don't care about the frames. 1-2-2 is an option, and then you got the strings as well. These strings are going to be really important, and that looks like 2-2-1. Interesting. 2-2-2-1. Again, it's a string, so I don't know how good these are going to be. I don't know how good these strings are going to be, the 2-2 strings, or if they jail or not, but yeah, it looks like she has some pretty strong, fast, high moves. Oh, what was that move? Sorry. Let's have a look at that again. Okay, the 2-1. And how fast was that one? Let's have a look. 11 frames. So that's pretty strong, man. If you can punish your opponent with that, the 2-1, you know, for 11 frames, and even for, it might be your main hop kick punish. That and down forward 1-2 would be your kind of your main punch. Her punishment seems really good on standing, right? And that is 3-2. Okay, and then it's just her standing 4 there. Don't think it does anything on counter hit either. I tried to see what it does on counter hit. It doesn't really do much. 1+2. Okay, now forward 2-3. This is a move that you're going to be using as well. You can see from the notes that you can go into, I think, multiple stances. Well, you can go into the Sentai stance by holding forward. And after forward 2, you can press up and down to do the little step, right? So, forward 2-3 is a move that you do see and might be used in combos as well. It's not going to be as good as Heihachi's, the forward 2-3. Like, his forward 2-3 is obviously very, very strong. But, it's solid either way, and it's a 13 frame too, so you can use this as a punish. So the thing is, she has a lot of different options for punishment. You know, if you want to go for damage, you can go for damage. If you want to go for standing mix-ups, then you can go for standing mix-ups. You know, it's got a little bit of frame advantage, and if she goes into Sentai stance, she'll have more advantage and be able to assert some more mix-ups on the opponent. And her moves from Sentai are pretty strong as well. So, so many options to play around with. You can be creative with this character for sure when it comes to punishment. And that's the Sentai stance, so hopefully we get to see now her Sentai options, as I think this is her main stance that you're going to be using. Okay, we're not going to see it just yet, but this move right here, forward 4. Now, this is one of the moves which, you know, you hear JDCR say, one of the main reasons JDCR played Heihachi over the other Mishimas, like Devil Jin, back in Tekken Tag 2, was because of forward 4. And forward 4 with Heihachi was so strong, man. I mean, in Tekken 7, forward 4, if you're ducking and you get hit by it, it does, I mean, it guarantees the twin pistons, it does a ton of damage, it gives you good plus frames. Here, her forward 4 is +5 on hits, as you can see. It doesn't give the guaranteed damage when your opponent ducks, I believe, but it is +2 on block. So it's still plus. I don't know if that's more plus or less plus. I think maybe Heihachi's in Tekken 7 is a bit more plus, but it is +2, and I think it gives you that plus frame, it gives you pressure. It's pretty quick, so, you know, she has a forward 4. It might not be as good as, you know, the other Mishimas, but it's pretty strong either way. So forward 4, so she is a Mishima, man. Forward 1+2, the interesting move there with the roll, and then you can go for the forward 2 into the, so you go into the mid, and you can go into the low as well. Unclear on how strong that's gonna be, but either way, you see what it doesn't counter hit. Damn, does so much damage, dude. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Noctis, especially with the jump, man. Look at that, you can do the jump as well. Literally reminds me of of Noctis. So as you can see, from what I've been saying, that she seems very much like a stance-heavy character. Yes, she is a Mishima, but she has so many stances, like so many stances, right? That you're going to be able to go through. There's just one of them. She has the Heaven's Wrath one as well. And what's really cool is that you can transition between them. You can do one move, one stance, and then you can do a move that goes into the other stance. So she is a tricky character. She really is a waifu Mishima. They have literally taken a waifu character, a Mishima, and put them together. And now the waifu mains and the Mishima mains can live in harmony through this one character. Bro, she has bridged the gap. She has literally brought these two communities together. And I'm not for that, man. I don't want to see the waifus and the Mishimas have a partnership, man. That's a scary thought. Either way, down forward 1-1. So, of course, she has down forward 1-2, which is the mid-mid. But she also has the classic down forward 1-1 as well. The mid-high that you can duck and punish, right? Which is safe on block 2. And there is the down forward 1-2. Does a good amount of damage, and it's one of her heat engages. Down forward 2. Okay. Now, nothing screams more waifu Mishima than her having that down forward 2. Now, it's a 15-frame launcher. I don't know if it launches crouch. I think I vaguely remember that it maybe doesn't, but well, that's something to definitely have to check. But down forward 2, her having that is very important because you already know these waifu players, they're not going to be able to do electrics, let's be honest. They're not going to be able to punish with electrics. But, you know, despite that, sometimes even the best Mishima players, they block a rage art. They don't want to risk going for the electric. So having a safer punish to launch your opponent with a down 4-2 when you block a launch punishable move is very, very important. So they've given her that standing launcher option as well. That's 15-frame launcher. And remember that rage arts are minus 15 now in Tekken 8. So certain characters like Zafina, like Raven, like Jun Kazama, they do not have 15-frame launchers from standing. So, you know, having that makes Reina a lot stronger, you know, and makes it easier for her to play for players as well that are looking to main her too. Okay, now that's really cool as well. I'm sorry, I'm skipping quite a lot, but as you can see, Reina can actually after the down forward 2, you'll see down forward 3. Down forward 3 is actually an input for the for a wave dash, the wind god step. So down forward 3 will just do one wave dash. Now someone asked me before, does that actually allow her to do multiple? Because they saw that on this video and they're like, well, can she just do down forward 3 to do multiple wave dashes? No, she can only do one. So down forward 3 will do one wave dash, and then you can press 2 or 4 to do the certain moves that you're going to get, you know, 1, 2, or 3. You know, you press all the buttons and it will do the move. So wind god step does one wave dash. Got these cool little strings as well that you might see in combos. Down 4 plus 4. Damage. And these seem like relatively safe as well. So these are good moves to be able to check your opponent and try to net some good counter hit damage. Down 2. So down 2 seems like a good move. It's a move that I got a lot by accident when I was trying to do electrics, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like if you're playing against Reina, you're gonna see a lot of down 2 used. Again, I don't remember specifically what it was on block, but it will definitely save. It might be neutral on block and leave your opponent in crouch, which I think is a good option to have. It's kind of like Dragunov's down 1 a little bit, but yeah, nothing crazy. Doesn't do it like it doesn't count it launch or anything, but it's a decent move. And down 3 is obviously a move, one of her stances as well. You don't have a lot of moves out of that stance, but she can go down, up, and she can even go back as well using that. So you just press down 3, up 3, and she'll do that little sidestep thing. Heaven's Wrath, one of her stances too. And down back 2. So here we go. Here's where I start to get into where I think Reina maybe is lacking a little bit, okay? Now, let me go over everything actually, because it's a good point to stop. I think that Reina struggles in two situations. She does not have good tracking. That's number 1. And her lows are not great. Her lows are really not great. I mean, you're using Hell Sweep. She has a Hell Sweep. It doesn't knock down, but she has Hell Sweeps. She has Hell Sweep 4, double low, and a low into a high punch, which is all natural combo. But that low right there, you see down back 2, is -3 on hit, and it's launch punishable. Now, of course, it is a high crush low, but I don't know if it's a low that is even worth using, you know. I mean, 22 damage, it does a nice chunk of damage, but you're minus after it, and it's launch punishable. So it's good to have, but it is risky. And you know, at high level, you know, you get one of those blocked, you're gonna be dealt a lot of damage. So I really feel like it might be a little bit harder to open up an opponent with her, just because her lows are not the best. But that is not something that is uncommon to Mishimas. You know, you look at Heihachi, you look at his lows. I mean, his lows are not great either, right? Like, you think about it, he has a bunch of really amazing mids. Forward 3, forward 2, 3, down forward 1, forward 4. All these moves, right? But and electrics and stuff. Yeah, he has great moves, but his lows are kind of lacking. That is weakness. And I feel like they've done the same thing with Reina here as well, right? Is where her lows are not amazing, but you know, she has a bunch of other really good moves for high options and mid options, right? But yeah, down back 2, launch punishable. Doesn't say that here on this video, but when I played her, it was 100% launch punishable. We got down back. What was that? Down back. That's one of the other lows as well. Down back 4. Now, on its own, it doesn't do anything. It's also minus as well, but she has a follow-up. So I guess if your opponent tries to block that and punish it, then they'll get hit by the mid option. But the mid option is also punishable. I believe it's minus 14. Don't quote me on that. It may be more punishable, or maybe less punishable, but it's definitely punishable, right? So it's one of those mix-up situations, kind of like Noctis. You block Noctis is down 2, and it's like, oh, okay, I can punish here, but he could finish the string and I'll get hit. So it's a little mix-up situation. Again, you know, even if it's a mix-up situation, it's not great. It's not great. Those kind of the 2 lows that I was from standing, you know, those standing lows. A lot of people have been comparing her to Kazumi a little bit, and I'm like, is she Kazumi? I don't know, because Kazumi had a million lows that you could use. Really good ones as well. Down back 4, down back 3, down back 2, down 3+4, down 3. You know, she had so many, you know, that she could use and choose from, and Reina doesn't seem to have that at all. Now we go to a 4-hit combo, and you're not going to really see this, I don't feel like. But that move, you're going to see a lot. That move, you will see a lot. And I know those of you guys that saw this move, the Sin Smiter, whose move is this, guys? I know you guys know. Of course, it's Kazumi's homing move, back 2. And it is the same input as well. And they have literally copy-pasted it into this game. Now, Kazumi's back 2 took a lot of nerfs over the years, right? It was, you know, back 2 used to be a ballerina spin, wall splat, gave a lot more damage. Now it's just, you know, here it's the same. It's +3, which is not a lot of frame advantage, but it's quick. It's not one of those moves that you're going to be able to get away from, man. It's a good homing move. But as you can see here, compared to Kazumi, the amount of pushback. Look, man, this guy's ass is over my head. That is crazy. Back 2 has a ton of pushback on hit. And that is the first thing that I noticed when I played her. I'm like, okay, she has Kazumi's back 2. Her tracking is kind of weak. You're going to be using that move a lot because you don't want your opponent to sidestep. And it's a great homing move. You know, having spoken to Arslan Ash about it, who is the best Kazumi main next to Ulsan of history, you know. Maybe Ulsan's the best right now, but I spoke to him about back 2. He's like, look, back 2 is amazing because it's so quick and it's a mid. So if your opponent tries to sidestep and duck, which is what everyone tries to do versus Kazumi, because sidestep, right, duck is a good option select versus many of her moves, back 2 is inescapable. It's so quick, you cannot sidestep and duck and block against that move. It's just too quick. That's something that Arslan was saying. So I know he'll be happy to see this move in the game, but I think it really does end your pressure when there's that much pushback. I mean, if the opponent was closer to her, then maybe we can get like some mix-ups going, right? Like, you got +3, let me go for a jab, but her jabs are not going to reach from there. You know, her lows are not going to reach from there. What can she do? Nothing she does is going to reach from there, right? So it kind of resets the neutral in that situation. And I think that the back 2 is actually worse than Kazumi's is right now. So it's a good homing move, but I have my doubts. And as I said as well, she has the back 3, down 3, up 3, which puts her into this unsoku stance, where she has a couple of moves out of. Okay, back 4. Now, I'm not sure if this is a tailspin move, but I'm not sure if it's a high crush too. It might be a high crush. It looked like it kind of looks a little bit like Lily's down back 3, for example. Not Lily's down back 3, but it has the same effect where it's like a mid kick which beats highs. So that would be interesting if that was the case. Okay, back 1+2. Really cool looking power crush move. Again, I don't remember what it was specifically on block, but I do believe that it is punishable, and maybe -14, maybe something like this, right? Back 1+4. Her unblockable. This is something that I did by accident, actually. I did it unblockable by accident, and it was a very good accident as well, because my opponent had no idea what was going on. Okay, up 3. Yeah, of course, same as before. Up forward 1. Up forward 1. A 13 frame move, which puts her in plus frames into the Heaven's Wrath stance. Now, this might be good to just throw out, to be honest, because you know, it's a high. It's I don't know what it's going to be specifically on block, but it's one of those things, you know. It may be really good to get into stance and to, you know, to apply some pressure. And this move, up forward 3-1. Now, up forward 3-1, little bit reminds me of Leo's up forward 2 string. And I used this move a lot when I played her. But again, it has the issue, we'll see it now. It has the issue of it being steppable to the left. Again, her weak side. She is very weak to that left side. Side step left, guys, is the way that you beat this character. I really feel like, you know, we don't know the full story. I don't know the full story. Maybe that she's going to have crazy mix-ups from her stances. I think stances are going to be the way to play her. Stances and general Mishima play. But, you know, this move right here, even though it's safe, even though it's natural combo, it is heavily steppable, right? So, yeah, it's one of those moves. It's good to have, but let's see how to use it properly, right? Okay, up forward 4. She's got a hop kick. She's got a hop kick, guys. And I do think, if I remember, again, this was a while ago when I played her, but I think her hop kick is launch punishable. I think that it might be launch punishable or -14. So, it's good. Use it as a punish. It's something that you can use out of duck. You know, you can do it from a crouching position because it is an up forward input. So, it's good to have that. But, yeah, up forward 4. You can also do up back 4 or up 4. So, yeah, it is 17 frame punish. It's a hop kick. You can use it as a whiff punish. But, like I said, she has so many options to whiff punish. She is... Yeah, she's going to be that character, man. I'm scared to see JDCR play this character if he does. Because there is no one on the planet, nobody on the planet that had more optimized punishment than JDCR. Even to this day, when this guy punishes stuff, I'm like, that did not look like it was punishable, mate. He really threaded the needle there, right? So, JDCR, if you're watching, I want to see you play this character. All right, up forward 3+4 into 1+2. Again, not going to know. This might be something to punish certain long-range moves. It is natural. But yeah, again, not a great move. You can see that it doesn't even give you plus frames. Forward 4-2! Forward 4-2, here we go. What I believe to be one of her, maybe one of her best moves, actually. Forward 4-2. Again, doesn't have great tracking. It can be sidestep to the left. But forward 4-2 is safe on block. And it puts you into the Sentai stance. Of course, the Sentai stance we were talking about, right? And she didn't actually go into Sentai there. On its own, it's +1. It's safe on block. And it really reminds me of Lydia. Again, you guys must all be thinking Lydia right now when it comes to forward 4-2 that puts you into stance. And her Sentai stance is so good, man. Forward 4-3. Yep, this is the classic Mishima forward 4-3. I don't know if that launches without heat, though, because it is a heat engager, right? So, yeah, that would be unfortunate for sure. Okay, forward 4, 3+4. See that one again, actually. Yeah, a pretty quick a flying kick there. I wonder what that's gonna, what kind of utility that will have. I mean, it's probably, it's a high move, so it's, I don't know, probably safe on block, maybe wall splats. So, well, definitely wall splats. So yeah, I mean, again, interesting move. Running 3. Okay, she has a running 3. Running 4, which is a homing. And she's got her 10-hit combo. Here we go. That's going to body so many people. You know, if you guys want to win with sorry, not Lydia. I almost called her Lydia. If you guys want to win with Reina, do her 10-hit combo, guys. No one knows 10-hit combos. Even now, if you want to beat a pro, if you want to get at least like 1 round on them, learn a character and learn their 10-hit combo. Because no one actually bothers to learn these at the high level, man. It's gonna body me, man. I'm not going to lie to you as well. There's another 10-hit combo. Look, it's got a low in it as well. The ones that have lows are so good, man. Alright, moving on. Yeah, the up back 1+2 and up 1+2 allows her to go into a backflip and a front flip. It's kind of weird, man. I'm not sure how that's gonna really help too much, but yeah, that's definitely something that she can do as well. Man, that taunt is too sick. The key charge looks amazing as well. She got the while standing punishment. Now this is gonna be very, very important. Let's have a look at this. So if while standing 1, which is a 13 frame. Which gives her a ton of plus frames and puts her into Sentai stance as well. Plus 13 into sentai stance, man. I mean, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but again, it's one of those things where, like, you have to make a decision between, do I go for damage and plus frames, or do I go for mix-up, you know? And it really depends on where you are in the game. If you have the life lead, then, you know, maybe just go for the punish and keep your life lead. But what about if you need to make a comeback? Well, okay, maybe in that situation you go for while standing 1, right? But again, a pretty good option to have, right? While standing 2. So while standing 2, people were excited to see this move because it's similar to Heihachi's while standing 2. Now this one's 18 frames. It gives you good plus frames, but it is not as evasive as Heihachi's is. Heihachi's while standing 2 is ridiculously evasive. But I don't think it even does the same stuff on counter hit either. So again, that's something that will need to be confirmed. I don't think I tried it on counter hit, but yeah, like, it's definitely not as good as Heihachi's. That's one thing I can tell you for sure. While standing 3, 4, 15 frame punish. Okay, what 15 frame punish does a lot of damage though. You know, 35 damage, and that is a move that you can definitely use as like a wall splat move. You know, against the opponent if you block a low that is punishable enough. And while standing 4, 4, 4. There you go, the classic. That's what you guys were waiting for, right? 11 frames minus on hits. You know, just like the normal while standing 4, 4s are. But yeah, that is going to be, I guess, your main go-to punish. 11 frame punish for while standing. So 25 damage while standing 4-4 kind of resets the neutral, resets the situation there. It's -1, so I mean, it's not really anyone's turn in that situation. But I mean, yeah, definitely a good move, a good punish to have. And it looks like you can go into Heaven's Wrath afterwards by holding down. So this is one of the things, man. Like I told you guys, I've said it time and time again, Reina is going to be very stance heavy. You're going to have to be able to utilize her stances and understand how to get around those stances in certain situations if you are playing against Reina, right? So she is a Mishima, but she also has that tricky stance stuff as well, right? Whilst I need to sport, again, okay, I don't know, it's mad plus, but what does it actually do? Maybe it's a counter hit launcher. I think it might be a counter hit launcher. I don't know. But if it is, then that is a good move to throw out because, you know, having a quick counter hit launcher like that would be amazing. But yeah, not quite sure what it does, but that is something we've got to see what it does on counter hit whilst I need to keep this for. And her full crouch game. Now, someone asked me before, does she have a full crouch game? Well, full crouch down forward 3. Now, that move is launch punishable, I believe. It's a very heavy launcher, but it is launch punishable. She also has full crouch down forward 4. Now, I think this one, I mean, that's pretty strong, man. It's a 15 frame. So that's going to be one of her main go-to punishers. As you can see, one more time, 15 frame from full crouch. A mid option as well. It gives you a very good launch as well. Big damage. Her while standing punishment and her standing punishment seems very, very solid, right? So, yeah, full crouch down forward 4. But I don't think she has a low from full crouch, which, you know, it means that she's not really a true waifu. She hasn't really got that full crouch game. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed out on something. I mean, I didn't get a lot of chance to play. I did play her quite a bit, but you can't figure out everything in just a couple of or a few hours, can you? Sidestep 4, which is neutral on hits. On counter hit gives you, I think, a little bit more plus frames, but nothing too crazy there. Back turn 4. Wind God Step. And here we go. Now we see she has a crouch dash 1 3 and a crouch dash 1 4. The 3 is a mid punishable dive kick, and the 4 is a high kick that she does after the crouch dash 1. So it's like an omen into a high. There you see the high option there now. And there's the electric, but of course you've got to, if you want the electric, excuse me, you're going to have to time the 2 input with the down forward input. Then you get the electric version. And again, remember, if you're in heat, you can just do the normal Wind God Fist and it'll do the electric version. There you go. She has an electric! She has an electric, bro. It's crazy. Crouch dash down forward 3. Now, not sure how good that move is going to be. So let's have a look at it again. A mid kick. Now, is it safe? Is it not safe? I don't know. It knocks down, which is pretty good. So having a mid option from crouch dash that isn't the wild stand, the crouch dash 1, I think that'll be pretty cool. But not quite sure what that's going to do on counter hit or what it is on block. Ooh, if you time it, she has an electric kick as well. I didn't even see that. So she has an electric version of the kick. She has an electric wind god punch, electric wind god fist, sorry, and an electric wind god or war god kick. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Alright, let's move on. Here we go. Hell sweep into the high. Now that is guaranteed. It's all natural combo. Not plus frames, but does some good damage. And then she has the double low, which is +2. Again, not crazy plus. And considering that she has some good while standing options, you probably don't want to be pressing a lot of buttons after getting hit by that hell sweep. But it doesn't knock down, which is huge. I think, you know, the main thing that you love about the hell sweeps, if you're a Kazuya player, for example, is that the hell sweep would put you in a vortex. But this doesn't knock down. Neither of her hell sweeps knock down. So, yeah, you won't get put into a vortex situation there. Ah, man, and then you can go into the wave dash into Sentai. So, yeah, let's have a look at her Sentai moves. Here's Sentai 1, 2, which you're going to be using probably a lot in combos. Nice damaging move. Sentai 2, which is a nice mid there. I think it's safe. Sentai 3, which is going to be her heat engager. It's also the quickest move she has from Sentai stance at 12 frames. So after certain moves, when you go into Sentai stance, it's a high. So there is a mix-up there. But if your opponent tries to interrupt you with a lot of moves, look a jab down for 1 or something, if he tries to disrespect you, then this high heat engager is going to hit for you. Sentai 4. And this Sentai 4 is interesting because, again, I tried to see if there was a way to get around Sentai stance. I'm like, maybe if I dick jab, maybe if I down 4 or something. And that is, as you can see, a little hopping move. It's a low crush. So it goes over the dick jabs, it goes over the down 4 lows. So yeah, this is definitely a move as well that is going to be useful just to mix up your opponent a little bit. But the one I really want to talk about is not this one. She's got the 1+2, which goes into the Heaven's Wrath stance, which is cool as well. So she has good options, but this is what I want to talk about, the sweep. That sweep is launch punishable. So if you block that low, it doesn't. I don't think it staggers, or maybe it does. I don't know. But either way, it's launch punishable, if I remember correctly. But it has so much evasion. I tried to dick jab to beat it, and it went under the dick jab. So let's see one more time after this. So you see, she goes mad low. She goes really, really low, and it even beats the dick jabs as well. So yeah, it's a natural combo, 22 damage +4. It's a pretty good move, right? But it is risky. Here we go. We've got the Unsoku into the Sentai. Man, I'm telling you, dude. Oh, man. She is going to be a tricky character to deal with. Heaven's Wrath. Heaven's Wrath into the 1-4. Heaven's Wrath into 2. This is going to be a bit, again, Heaven's Wrath. She has a lot of good moves on Heaven's Wrath. Heaven's Wrath string. Heaven's Wrath 1+2. Heaven's Wrath 3+4. Big axe kick. Heaven's Wrath into the down 4-3. So I don't know if that is a natural combo. It looks like it might be. I'm not sure though. It might not be as well. But if it is, then her Heaven's Wrath is going to be pretty strong as well. But what you really want to see is, you know, having multiple options. You know, she seems to have a lot of mid options and strings from these stances, but you know, they're not useful and if I can just hold back. So in this situation, her having that is actually really, really strong if it is a natural combo and if it's not too punishable. Yep, Heaven's Wrath into Sentai stance. Heaven's Wrath into the wave dash. Now this is what I want to talk about. Forward neutral. Now, forward neutral, the wind step, it actually has an inbuilt parry. And you can see it here, like, even though it's in Polish, it has an effect of the parry. I'm guessing effect means effect. So it has a parry effect. And I couldn't understand when I was playing, like, how am I getting these parries? What am I doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm timing my forward. Now, I tried to recreate it with someone. And it was difficult to time my forward inputs to beat the jabs and down forward ones and stuff. Because it looks like it beats highs and mids. Maybe just mids, I don't know. It doesn't give you anything guaranteed, but it gives you plus frames. It kind of parries your opponent, they kind of stagger a little bit, and you get plus frames. So, again, she seems like a deep character, man. Like a very deep character. Can I say she's weak? No. You definitely can't say she's weak, but she has the potential to be very strong. So, wind step into 3, which is a mid kick. Wind step into the wave dash, which is similar to Kazuya. You can just do forward, neutral, down, forward, and it'll give you a wave dash. And here are her throws now. Just generic throws. Man, her throws are pretty sick. Here's a side throw. Ay. Another side throw. Let's see the back throw. What's the back throw saying? Yeah, the evil laugh, man. Damn. Up for pursue. She has the headbutt. She has the Heihachi headbutt. Let's go. The Mishima headbutt. And hopefully you'll be able to parry it, because there was a thing that people called what headbutt tennis or something, where if you do the headbutt on someone, if you time the button 2 or something, you can do the headbutt back, and you can keep on doing it if you time it right, and you keep taking damage. So whoever messes up basically loses, right? It's called headbutt tennis. I forgot what it was called. But there you go. Down, back, forward, and 2. So it's a very bufferable throw. Nah, sick throw, man. If that could wall splat, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so basically half circle, back, forward, 2. And it's probably super bufferable. Very bufferable, just like Julia's throw. Sentai throw. Let's go. We've got the Heaven's Wrath throw too. Man, doesn't do a lot of damage, but it looks sick. Parries. And that's what I was talking about, right? You get plus 10. And she goes into a wave dash, the Wind God Step, after parrying successfully. You see the blue sparks go as well, right? So, yeah, you see that they kind of go, and you get put into a mix-up situation there. So, man, oh man, I don't know. She's so unique. I'm scared of what's gonna happen in tournaments with this character. But yeah, having a grounded hit too is so important, because sometimes, yeah, I've seen it so often recently as well when I'm playing. People just like to stay on the ground. They don't want to get up. They're too scared to get up and fight, man. So they stay on the ground. They're like, oh, let me just take a grounded hit. But that is not a grounded hit that you want to take, because that down 4-1 is going to be quite damaging. So yeah, that's basically a look at all of her moves, and I hope that I was able to give you a little bit of insight on those moves as well, because obviously I didn't play her all too much, and very soon I'm hoping that we're all going to be able to learn more about these characters on a deeper level. But for now, from what I was able to play, thanks to Red Bull UK and for Bandai Namco Japan for allowing me to play the game, because I was obviously with the Namco Japanese guys and Red Bull UK. It was just really cool to be able to play and get a little bit of an insight on the character. Now, if I just want to give you a recap on what I think about Reina, I really feel like she is going to be stance heavy. She's a stance heavy character where most of her good moves, or a lot of her good moves, come out of stance. She still has the regular Mishima playstyle, which means that if you have a character that has an electric, that has a Mishima forward for hell sweeps and these kind of things, you can't really be bad. But she not only has an electric punch, she has an electric kick, a mid-electric kick. I mean, come on, man. Come on, dude. Like, I mean, she's gonna be good, right? But my one issue with her is tracking. I feel like tracking might not be so good. When I was trying to check all the different moves she has, a lot of them were sidestep left. Sidestep left beat clean a lot of her moves. But back 2 with Kazumi is good. Nerfed because it has a lot of pushback. But I'm really looking at her stances. I'm looking at her punishment. And when you have a character that has those moves and those punishes, man, I mean, a Hopkick as well. She has 15 frame damaging while standing launcher. She has good counter hit stuff. She has great standing punishment. She has multiple options, you know, for punishment too that can mix up your opponent. She's going to be good. She's definitely going to be a strong up there character. It's just a matter of how up there she's going to be. I feel like Bandai Namco has done a good job in experimenting with this character, and they think they took some risks here too by creating a waifu Mishima. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. And of course, when and if I get more information on this character, you guys are going to be the first ones to know. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. What do you think about Reina, and are you guys going to be playing her when the game comes out on the 26th of January? Let me know, man. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and let me know what you think, guys. And I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.